run that Travion Henderson made for that second touchdown, I just thought was pretty amazing considering he's running past Big Ten level defensive backs who had the angle on him, and he just split when he came around the corner.
Yeah.
He just put it in another gear and just split that entire defense. It was impressive.
Yeah, the kid's special, no doubt about it. And we knew that coming in, and I didn't know, and I've talked about it with you, I've talked about it with others. I didn't know at what point we would see him really start to take over. Obviously, it happened pretty quick. And he left this game. I think he missed a series right before halftime or two, came back out and started the second half. So his numbers probably could have been better if he played kind of the full complement of snaps, went to the locker room briefly. So, the kid's special. Mayan Williams is a very good backup. Master Teague was not available for this game, but you know what you're going to get with him. Evan Pryor is a guy who Ryan Day said today that the other freshman running back that if they could, they would like to redshirt him, save that year, but he's right on the precipice, and they're not going to hold him back if they need him. Obviously, Marcus Crowley out for the season with an injury. So you've got those four backs. Master Teague obviously has been a little banged up, but yeah, Travion Henderson, I mean, each week he just does something different that's impressive. He's only going to get better and better. I think he's a guy who could, if Ohio State makes the college football playoff, could really announce himself to fans that don't already know who he is. But I think a lot of fans have already learned just from what he's done during the regular season.
Talking Ohio State football with Pat Murphy, huge game coming up this week. Check out Pat's work there at Bucknuts 247 Sports. Looking at the defense, so on one hand, you can look at the Aiden O'Connell numbers, and he's been ripping everyone up, especially Michigan State, 536, and that was not garbage yardage. It was needed. It was all game. He puts up about, I forget the numbers, 350 or so, something in that range against Ohio State, 40 of 52, 54, something in that range. But when you just look at the effectiveness of the defense, Purdue scores easily the first drive. They match them at 7-7. Then after that, they don't score until it's 35-7.
Right.
So Ohio State got them off the field every other drive until it was not a game. So I don't know how much you can count the second half yardage and points against the Ohio State defense.
Absolutely. And I think that when you look at this Ohio State defense, the teams that have put up the biggest numbers recently, especially in the past game, have been the teams that have thrown a lot. You mentioned Aiden O'Connell, 40 for 52, 390 was his total. Penn State did a very similar thing. They threw the ball a lot, didn't run a ton. Sean Clifford threw 52 times, and the numbers were good. But I don't know, and just kind of projecting here, I don't know that Ohio State is going to face another quarterback, maybe a Bryce Young if they run into Alabama in the college football playoff. But I don't know if there's another quarterback that's likely on this team's schedule. The quarterback from Cincinnati, whose name's escaping me right now, if that were a potential matchup in the playoff.
Desmond Ridder.
Ridder, there you go. Maybe they try and throw on Ohio State. But, I mean, there's definitely issues. The middle of the field has been a problem for Ohio State to cover all year, be it the linebackers dropping into coverage, the safeties after Josh Proctor got hurt early on. It's an issue. But it's something that I think they've gotten better at. But when teams throw as much as some of these teams are, you're going to be able to expose that. And especially when you have a good quarterback, obviously some good receivers. I thought they did a decent job handling David Bell. Denzel Burke, the freshman, was matched up with him a lot. I mean, Bell got over 100 yards, but it took him, 11 catches to do so. So I think that, this defense, and I continue to say it, good, not great. The offense is great. And in today's college football, I think you can manage that. And especially with the way, like I said, this is shaping up. Michigan State's not a team. Peyton Thorne, a good quarterback, but I don't think they're going to throw it 50 sometimes. Michigan's certainly not a team to throw it a ton. Whoever they meet in the Big Ten championship game, if Ohio State's lucky enough to get there, won't be a team that throws it all over the yard, unless maybe you see a Purdue again. And then the college football playoff, I think most teams are pretty balanced attacks. So I do think that this is an ongoing issue, but it's hard to fix something. And honestly, Ohio State's fixed their defense better than I thought they would during the season. So, I'm not saying they should be content and just say, all right, well, this is what our defense is. But at the same time, there's only so much room for improvement here in these final few weeks. Maybe you can do some stuff during between the Big Ten championship game and either the bowl or the college football playoff. But it's only going to improve so much right now. The players that are on the field are the players that are going to be on the field. In my mind, it kind of is what it is. You have to work around that. And like you said, they got a number of stops. Purdue put a lot of numbers up in the second half. And, when you have an offense that can score almost every time it has the ball, that takes some pressure off the defense, have to get as many stops as some other teams in the country feel like they have to do.